Good morning, one and all. How you doing today? Me? Awesome. Big ol' thumbs up. Big ol' thumbs up. Little later in the week than I'd hoped for, so this is probably coming out a little later in the week than I'd hoped for. But hey, gotta adapt, man. You gotta like roll with the punches. You can't be so rigid, dude. You gotta be able to adapt. It's crucial. It's crucial. We had some family down for the weekend. Ms. Lady's sister came down with our niece and nephew. And, you know, it was basically, for us anyway, cameras off, fun times alone. Ooh. Kids today, though, huh? With their tiki-talkies and such.
Get off my lawn.
Also, I have a TikTok account, Simple Woods Life. Go on over there and take a peek at it if you'd like. Fire ban's been lifted, so we had ourselves a lovely campfire. Built it, you know, just a nice size. Nothing massive. We don't want to start any more wildfires. I didn't follow the sign, you know, as you go into town that says, make your fires extreme. So I apologize if I've broken the law. I only had a conservatively moderate fire, not an extreme fire. So the one I'm always worried about is make your fires high. Dude, that's dangerous. Smoking a big doobie. You don't do that. Drugs are not cool, kids. Coffee's cool, which I suppose is a drug. You know what? We gotta have limits. There's gotta be a spot where we can cut off the nonsense, okay? You wanna tell me that this is the same as Mr. White mixing up his batches of tomfoolery out in the desert?
Say my name.
The hell are we doing today? Today, we're gonna see if we can do the floors. I've been in here, looked at this front deck a couple of times, and I dig it. I'm happy with it. I'm pleased as punch. I mean, I'm not pleased as punch, but I'm saying that, right? I'm gonna project that positive energy. Pleased as punch. But now we gotta do the floors. Let's have a little peek and see what the floors are all about. Keep in mind, folks, contrary to popular belief and the extremely high production values of my videos, I'm not a master boat builder. I know. Take a moment and collect yourself. I have one piece that I kept when I tore this boat down. I ever tell you about Miss Lady's dad and I went fishing in this boat, and then it sat. He used it maybe a handful of times after that, and it sat in his yard for, oh, I'm gonna say a decade. Nona was like, do something with that GD boat. Except she wasn't so polite, nor did she say GD. But you don't want to cross Nona. Let me tell you something right now. You don't want to mess with Nona. Nona will give you the last black jelly bean, but you don't mess with Nona. So I guess this boat was just sitting full of leaves and full of snow and the whole 9 yards. And they were down one time, and I saw a boat on the side of the road that caught my eye. And he's like, "Oh, you thinking of getting a boat?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to get a little fishing boat. Like, I got the John boat, got the canoe, but like I want to have something that I can hit bigger waters with, right? Because the John boat is not super stable in the chop." Dave's told me stories about this being out on the big water up Georgian Bay, going up 6-foot waves and coming back down. No, thank you. I don't care for that. Calls me up one day and says, "You got any interest in taking this boat? It's a project and a half." And I was like, "Yeah, I'd love it." So I went up, and eventually we got this back to the lodge. And along the way, there was so much crap flying out of it. It had this box at the back where his switches were, and like little storage and stuff, and he had a cigarette lighter there. And it was strapped down, but it was like literally flipping up on the way back on the highway. There's a bit of white knuckle, you know, those bumper stickers that say honk if things come flying off my trailer. Like, we were there. Got it back, sort of took a look at everything, kind of saw how he had things, saw what I wanted to do, and I'm not straying too far from where he was. Took it upon myself to take all his hardware and stuff off. I've saved that. Not sure if that's gonna help me or not. His carpet was just gone, the woods were gone, so I started ripping all that stuff out. And because it had sat outside for so long, every number of creature was living in there that slithered or pooped a lot. So, got all that cleaned up. I was at the car wash over and over and over again, just hosing this thing out. Eventually got it all hosed out, got it clean, took the trailer apart, painted it all. I primed it and painted the inside where it's going to be exposed. I wanted to keep the outside au natural, rat rod styles or something, I don't know. So one of the things I kept was his floor. And as you can see, it's just a cut on both sides. He had a thin piece of plywood on top of it, and he nailed down some carpet to it. And that was it, right? So I didn't keep it as a template because there's no template. His floor is bounced. But I kept it as a concept. Because I'm gonna be running conduit down the boat to keep the wires protected and safe, and they're not gonna get pinched, or, you know, it just keeps it more rigid. I don't know. Seemed like a good idea when I was at the lumber store 2 years ago. But because I'm doing that, I kind of got to figure out, I couldn't do something as thin as his. I made my own. Same basic concept, right? Except the boat changes. It's funny, that blew me away, but when I told Miss Lady, she was like, yeah. Like, the boat's not the same the whole way down. So the floor, I guess, because of the way the metal goes, every piece of board is going to be slightly different. And then the reason I made it so big, I can run some conduit through it like a mouse. I have a rough plan. I have a dangerous idea, and along the way together, we'll figure out. Hello. Cutting the floor boards and then cutting the deck, and that'll be two flat decks. That seems like a pretty good time. So you can see I've got 3 in here already. This one's perfect. Fits like a glove. This one I use the same template, but see, not so good. This one needs some adjustments. Okay, so. That's okay. And that's where it hits. So we'll do the center pole, and then, holy crap. We got 3 done. So now, we'll tackle the front. Should be identical in a task. Maybe? I got a bit too much crap over on my workbench here, so I'm just gonna cut this like a hobo. I mean, we all saw that coming. Maybe that's why there aren't so many hobos around anymore. Did they all get injured? Suppose I can clean off some of my workbench for the next cut.
Oh yeah.
An heart attack! Your guess is as good as mine if this is gonna work. Hey! Well, whoop-de-doo, everybody. That won't work there. But that's one. Okay, unfortunately, I can't move forward without moving back, so the plans for doing these decks in full, I've got everything cut, I can screw them together. Then I would have screwed myself because I'm gonna have to cut holes in the frame of the decking and through the boat's metal as well, so we can make room for the conduit. So I was just watching my dog be an insaner. You're the best helper in the world. She's a nut. So it's like all these steps that I can't move forward on until I figure out that. And I can't figure out that until I figure out my little box where my controls and everything are gonna sit. And I'm not entirely sure because the back shelf decking area sort of needs to be assembled. But honest to God, it's like a puzzle piece right now trying to figure it out. So that's gonna be for gas tank and emergency crap storage. So we just gonna figure it out. What was it? Wasn't it one of those boy bands that said 2 steps forwards, 3 steps back, or something like that?
I take 2 steps forward.
I'll take 2 steps back.
So I'm almost at the spot where I can kind of figure out whatever the hell I was thinking earlier. Looks like I stripped a stainless steel screw putting it into the floor, so nothing's level in there, so I can't totally figure it out. I can't remember the name of the tool. You know, they're like when you strip a screw or you like, you make the square a circle. Which is very easy to do with stainless steel screws. It's the screw that goes into that screw that takes that screw out, and I own one, but for the damn life of me, I cannot find it. I can't do the deck until I do the conduit, can't do the conduit till I do the box, can't do the box till I do the back deck, can't do the back deck till I get the floor level. This is not how I want to spend the day. But, if I can't find it, then I'm gonna have to spend like an hour on the road to go to a hardware store and hope that they have one, because I can't move and I can't even get anything in there. Hi, can I get a small dark roast black, please? That was a hell of a drive to Tipperary just to get that. But we got that figured out. I've got this L bracket here that screws into the boat. I thought it would be like, oh, cool, we have X amount of screws, that'll be for the L bracket. But 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We got 18 holes and we got 12 matching screws. 14, 16, 18. So I've got 18 in total from 2 separate screws, so maybe that could be a thing? Not sure. That I've got this upside down. Oh sh! Oh sh! Okay, new problem. Remember last video when I said there was nothing for Mickey in here? I just pulled up this L bracket. I'm gonna have to pull the floor out because Mickey had a little bit of fun inside the seat foam. It's trials and tribulations, I suppose, everybody. It's a what? It's a 30-year-old boat, 40-year-old boat, I don't know. And it's one of those things where you could just say, screw it, I'll just bolt over top of it, screw Mickey in his nest. But no, I can't operate like that because I don't want any encouragement for that little sumbitch to come back at any time. Well, somebody sure had a nice home in the winter. I hope you're not there anymore. Something jumps out, I'm screaming. I see feathers. Is that like cedar shavings or something? I don't mean to sound rude, but a surprising lack of crap and urine in there. Like normally, I've come across, in the past, like a mouse has gotten into the barn or into the shed or something and they'll have torn up some papers. And it's just like a pile of jelly beans worth of crap. There was barely anything, if anything, in there. And the amount of feathers and everything else makes me wonder if that was a mouse. If anybody has any ideas on what that might have been, what would make a nest like that, I'm curious. So, Ms. Lady picked up little of this last night. I'm not sure if I can...
did a pretty good job.
Yeah, but if you check with the camera, you just don't get anything on it. Like, I am missing a big chunk there, right?
It's like icing a cake, that's all. Like, I can push it and feel. I'm sure a boat guy somewhere would be like, what are they doing?
You guys are freaking insane!
Oh, waste it, yeah. Oh, I see. There's actually a whole hole here. I can put my hand.
Yep, because he burrowed.
Yeah.
Well, we filled the boat with scrambled eggs. And,
Oh, you're filming. I never know when you're filming and when you're not filming.
filled the boat with scrambled eggs, and I don't know what to do.
Wait till it dries so you don't get your hands sticky.
My hands are kind of sticky.
How?
I don't know, feel them.
I got a little bit of yellow on my hands. I'll
Don't
rub
feel
off.
it with that one. No. Ah!
My hands are sticky. Did they sweat in those gloves?
Yeah, all the time.
Gross. My hands were in those gloves and feel me, I'm not sticky.
You're slimy.
I think it's just your own slime rubbing against your skin when I touch you.
Off camera, I sprayed Miss Lady with bug spray.
Yeah, so much so that you got through 2 layers of clothing. It's gross. So that's looking like 34 to me when I'm like right down.
Okay. Giving the dog a miniature Oreo.
That fits nice.
Looks good to me.
Looks good to me. That one's way easier.
Wow. That's beautiful. Well, we got a boat.
You do.
This one's having a sugar crash.
Kind of.
Too many Oreos.
I haven't eaten anything else today.
Drone shot. Drone shot.
Will you actually use this in your video? What's this noise you're making?
That's the drone. Drone shot.
Oh my god.
Wow, drone shot. Whoa. There you have it, everybody. That's it. Well, folks, that went well. Couldn't have done the last bit without Miss Lady. 2 heads are better than 1 in terms of figuring all that stuff out. So, I'll sand the edges on the 3 decks. I'll put a second coat on this one and the first coat, obviously, on the other 2. And then the next time we meet again, we'll be finishing the back casting deck, captain's deck, whatever, captain casting, and building the box for the rocker switches and having a better idea of the electronics. After the next part, we're basically just wiring, and then we'll be carpeting and setting sail. So these are some big things that are happening around here. Big things. Thanks for hanging out. Pet your dog. A lot. As Jay from Simple Woods Life, and Miss Lady who's decided that's enough of the garage. Wishing you howdy-do and so on and so forth.